Welcome back to the exterior reveal. If you've been following me on my vlog, you've already seen the interior reveal, and it's finally time for the exterior. We will probably have to work on this yard and the outside of our house for the next 10 to 15 years, but for right now, this is the first update of the rehab. So I want to tell you as we go through the video about ideas and plans we have for the future, but I want to start you out and remind you of our timeline. We closed on this house in October of 2015. We got the permit to start the rehab in May of 2016, and we moved in the house in February of 2017. So it's been a long time coming. If you remember what this house looked like when we purchased it, it was a small ranch from the 1960s that was in definite need of some updating. And here's what it looks like now. We purchased this house, we knew we wanted to do a lot with the exterior and really change it up. So we came up with 4 key elements that we needed to do to this home. The first thing we decided to do is we wanted to raise the roof on this house. So we raised the roof and we increased almost all the ceilings on the inside of the house to 10 feet. By doing that, we were able to see, you'll get a good look at what the roof line looks like. It was really a much more interesting roof line. At the same time, if you watch the interior reveal, you discovered that by raising the roof, we got so much vertical space, and it allowed us to do a lot more with the interior, and it was a huge game changer for us. The other thing we decided to do the roof line was add these beautiful dormers up here that add a great deal of character and gives you the illusion that the home is actually bigger than it is. The second key thing we decided to do to this house was create an eye-catching front entrance. I'll show you a shot of what the entrance looked like before. It was pushed over to the side of the house, and it didn't add a great deal to the front of the home. So we decided to change things up, make it center stage, and move it to the center of the home. We did that by adding these beautiful 8-foot tall double wooden doors with a curved arch. Thank you, Indra for helping me find those. We also decided to build a small front porch on the front of our house, which is a wonderful welcoming area for guests as they come to the front door. We added this beautiful barrel ceiling to the front porch, and we stained it a dark walnut. Notice how the arch in the front porch also complements the arch in the door. We really think by adding this front entrance, it made a huge, huge difference to the facade of our house, and we're so happy with it. The third key thing we decided to do was to turn our third car garage. By doing that, we eliminated the forward-facing garage, and I'll show you a picture of what it looked like before, and then I'll show you a picture of what it looked like after. There were so many things we were able to change by doing this. First thing was we were able to add these beautiful windows instead of seeing garage doors here. This also gives the illusion that the house is bigger, and we thought it was more architecturally appealing to have a side-load garage and also better curb appeal. It also allowed us to create this parking pad right here. We have so many kids and visitors that come here. It's so nice that 2 cars can pull in here and people can come and go as they please and not have to worry about moving their cars, so that was a big plus. The other thing is it allowed us to make this huge driveway over here and add a basketball hoop, because our family cannot live without basketball. I'm not sure why, but we can't. So talking about the side entry garage, we decided to spend a little bit more money, and we went with these beautiful carriage doors with windows, and we're glad we did. We thought it was worth the investment. Things we were able to achieve by turning our garage and the interior was, if you watch the interior reveal, you realize that we were able to steal space out of the garage and include a mudroom and a laundry room, which was much needed space in the inside of our home. It also allowed us to create an oversized 3-car garage, which is great for storage and great for our design business to fit it up, because we definitely need lots of storage. And for the first time ever, we have a window in our office, which we've never had that before. So we're loving that, and that's a perk for us. So the last key thing we decided to do to the exterior of the home was change up the brick and add siding. If you see a shot of this before, the brick was a little dated. It was very orange and caramely, and we needed to make lots of changes. And when we were doing the rehab, we realized we were going to be changing every window and door that existed. So there was lots of patchwork to do on all this brick. So we decided to paint the brick this beautiful color by Sherwin-Williams called Gray Matters. And then we also added shake to the top of the house, which just adds more depth and character to the home itself. And then the other thing we decided to do was have these custom wood shutters made out of cedar, and we painted them black as night, which is also the same color on the front door. So the 4 key things we did to change the exterior of this home is, the first thing, we raised the roof and added dormers. Second, we created an eye-catching front entrance. Third, we turned the garage. And fourth, we added character elements like painted brick, shake siding, shutters, and a front porch. And we feel that that has just changed the exterior of this home and just given us a whole new look. We love the way it looks and we're so excited about it. Next up is landscaping. We knew we had our job cut out for us with this house. It just needed a lot of tender, loving care in the yard. So the first thing we did when we closed is we tore down several trees and bushes because you really could not see what the home looked like at all. Then the next thing we knew, we had to do a lot of work come spring. So we sat down with our landscaper, Francisco from Rapid Landscaping, and we put together a plan. One thing that we really wanted to do was we wanted to create an interesting sidewalk. We just didn't want your standard sidewalk. So he came up with the idea of jogging our sidewalk in and out. Also came up with the idea of creating this large landing pad instead of adding just one small sidewalk coming up to the door. So this really added a lot to the front also. The next thing, it came spring and we had to think about what we were planting. So we all worked together and we came up with all different types of plants and trees we wanted to put in the yard. The main thing is we wanted to have, at all different seasons, we wanted to have things blooming. So Francisco planted and purchased all the trees for us in this front yard, but the rest of the shrubs, the plants, the flowers and bushes, we got from Beaumont Landscaping, and we were so grateful for that. So on a 90-degree day in early summer, my boys, my husband, and my mom and dad, thanks so much Mom and Dad, spent the whole weekend planting over 250 plants, trees, shrubs, and flowers. It's a lot of work, it was really hot, but we're glad we did because my mom has a great eye for putting landscape together and putting little areas together, so she was able to tweak some areas for us. Also, we saved a great deal of money by doing this, so that was a huge thing for us. So let's give you a big view of what the yard looks like now. If you've been following me on my vlog, you know that my sister, Beth Ann, surprised me with this wonderful vintage bike. I always loved one that my mom had many years ago. She painted it a bright yellow and she knew I loved it, so she surprised me with this. So my husband and I cleaned it up and we painted it this bright cherry red color, which happens to be one of the accent colors on our screened-in porch. I absolutely love it. It's so fun to decorate it. I cannot wait to move it around to the front of the house at Christmas and decorate it for Christmas time. The next thing I'm going to show you is the backyard. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done here. However, it's so much further along. Our whole grass is actually coming in the whole yard, and it's still got some weeds, but about a year or two from now, all the weeds will be gone. But it's much better than what it was. As I told you, we cut down some trees, and from those trees we had lots of stumps. So we wanted to create some really fun areas in our backyard. So I'll show you some of the areas we created. We just really wanted nature to be more of the decor. So we added some stumps here and there, and we did a bench over here. This is the hearth from the original fireplace in the house. My business partner, Steffi, saw it in the backyard and she said, you need to make a bench out of that. So we did, and we absolutely love it. Then I added these red Adirondack chairs just for a way to get away from the house when it's loud and you want to be by yourself. You can be over there, sit and relax, enjoy a drink. We've used one of the little stumps to create a drink. So that's the backyard. We have a lot of things planned. One of the things planned for the future would be that we'd love to add a big bed swing, and I'm looking forward to Brooks Creek Cedar making that for me. So I want to add a big bed swing to this tree. It's such a shady, beautiful backyard, so that's one of the plans. The second plan is way back over there in our corner, which that side of the yard needs a lot of work. We're going to add a fire pit back away from the house, so that will be fun. The other thing we plan on doing is off the back here, the dining room area, we're going to add a pergola, which will be a great walkway from our mudroom door to the screened-in porch. And the last thing we have planned, I'm sure there's more, but this is the last thing we have planned for right now. Off the mudroom door and the kitchen door, we plan to do an outside grilling area and kitchen, but that's for the future.
Last but not least, our screened-in back porch. We are so thrilled with it. It's nothing elaborate, it's very simple, but we love it. If you've been watching me on video, you knew that we missed the concrete date, so we could not pour the concrete before the winter. So late spring, we were able to pour the concrete for the screened-in porch and for the sidewalk out front. And because of that, our GC, Steve Seiler, was not able to do that. So we went to another friend of ours who's a GC, Mike Genovese, and he and his crew finished this off for us, and it's absolutely beautiful. They did an amazing job. I'll show you a shot of what it looked like before back here. There was no screened-in porch, but it had this little alcove area that was just screaming out, saying, build me a porch, put a porch here. So we did. So come on in and I'll give you a little tour. Before we go in, I want to show you these custom wood cedar doors we had made. We decided to go with double doors and just make it look more inviting and more custom.
So the first thing you'll notice that when you walk into this porch,
by having these beautiful 16-foot sliders, it really opens up not only the porch into the house, but the house into the porch. And it serves as a great area for people to spill in and out of. And it's a wonderful thing when you're having a social event or just enjoying the back porch. So this is added a lot by having these big double doors back
If
here.
you've ever done a rehab project when you get to the end, you know the closer you get to the end, the tighter the budget gets. So I was on a really tight budget for this screened in back porch. So a lot of the items I found on clearance, and I used a lot of my own existing things that I had. This little grouping right here, I got on year-end clearance from Pier 1. They had the red and white cushions, and I was actually looking to accent with red and white and navy. I thought it would look gorgeous with my trim color. So love that I found that. I have planned for an ottoman that I've been dragging around for 15 years with me, and I've got it slip covered. It's at the upholsterer now, and it's being slip covered in a denim colored textured outdoor fabric that's really going to complete this little seating area. So I'm excited about that. Some other things that I love back here is I found these 2 planters on clearance from Tuesday morning, and I used one as a planter, and I needed an accent table, so I decided to add a glass top to this one, and we created this little accent table right here, which worked out perfect. My favorite thing out here is this dining room table. It came from my husband's family. My mother-in-law, Barb, had this table in her house for years, and it actually came from her parents. So she handed it down to us, and we have been moving it state to state for the last 25 years, and we finally found the perfect resting spot for it here on this screened-in porch. It was in bad shape, and it really needed to be cleaned up. It's a 1930s English library table. So we stripped it and we stained it this beautiful ebony color, and then we sealed it to protect it from the elements. I found these 8 farm-style chairs from Home Goods and put it around it. And then for the rest of the area, I just added some fun things to really make it seem fun out here. I found these orbs, these glass orbs on deep clearance at our house. These birch logs I found at Home Depot. Found this industrial clock at Home Goods. And then if we come over here, this ladder over here, I got from my brother's shop at Brooks Cedar. It's a vintage ladder that he cut down for me 7 feet. It's great to store our blankets because in the early spring and late fall, it gets a little chilly out here. So this serves as a great purpose for that. Love this chalkboard I found. It had Morgan Flat from the Flat Shop paint on there. Welcome to the back porch. And then over here, this is a special canvas. This was the flag that was raised over our home during construction around 4th of July. So we took a shot of it and we enlarged it, and we thought this was a perfect place to put it back here on our back porch. So this is it. This is our simple little back porch. I look forward to showing you more things that we do in the next year, but for right now, we're going to sit down and relax and enjoy the rest of the year. There's so many people I want to thank that helped me with this. You know who you are. Brad and I could not have done it without you. But I want to say a special thanks to Andrea Leppert and to Irwin Lane for helping me start my blog. They know I could not have done it without them. And also Matt behind the camera. He's amazing at videography. He's just amazing. So thank you so much. Look forward to our next video called Clever Ideas. Thanks so much. Happy fall.